Okay, so I've moved a few pots around to make some space. So basically, yeah, it doesn't look too pretty. You can see the sand falling down even now, and we've got that one in there, sort of thing. So these will get wettened down by the rain, sort of thing, and will fill up with water, and some of the water will go into the polystyrene. The charcoal will absorb some of the water and become heavier. That's why I'm not watering it straight away. This one sits in this container with the hole in there, sort of thing. May have to widen that. So we're supposed to be having a week of rain next week, but you know, you can't trust these ABC weather symbols anymore. I think that's their way of degrading the ABC. Is you take away 600 of the employees and the weather symbols are crap, and it shakes your faith in the actual institution of the ABC, sort of thing. The Australian Broadcasting Corporation, if you didn't know. Yeah, not the American one. That's rubbish. And anyway, so that will slowly be wettened down, and also the water will come up to probably halfway up the poly, and we'll see if that's enough pressure to push everything out the top or not, or whether once the charcoal's got wet enough it will stabilise in the pot. And we'll see. It's just a trial, fellas. It's sort of like trying to do a cut down version of those sort of things. They seem to work, but it may not work on the small scale, so you may have to do your some sort of peat and sand bizzo or something. But the idea is that the polystyrene generates reductive flammable gas by the EZ water technique you can look up online. That goes up through the charcoal and helps with its anabiosis, because it's a reductive gas, a reactive gas. Oh, look at that. Yeah, that's not going to be too good, is it, fellas? But once that gets, if I wet that down with a squirt bottle, it might stay enough to stabilise. I don't know. We'll see. I may have to keep filling some sand in until it stabilises or something. But it's a try, fellas. You know, you got to start. As I say, nothing comes of nothing. Nothing comes of nothing, and you've got to start somewhere. So you know, yeah. Anyway, we'll see how we go. Just a try, fellas. Just a try. Anything else to talk about? Nothing really. I think we did everything, talked about everything yesterday, but we'll see. There is something happening with the charcoal. It's very slow. Oh, and you can actually see this one. You can see the difference between. You can see the poly there starting to delineate itself and press down. So some of the interstitial void space between them, the particles poly is starting to close down. So as the weight comes down from the heavy sand and the ever wettening charcoal, so you know, it's not quite what you think it is, fellas. So you know, bear with me. We'll trial it over the rest of the season. We'll see what happens. We'll get some capes in here, and we'll see if the roots get stuck on the charcoal, or do they find a way? Do they actually bore their way through the charcoal? Do we learn something new? Does the charcoal suddenly start magically disappearing? Don't know. We'll see. Does the whole sand, does the charcoal disappear but the sand become totally grey? So in other words, it's broken up as interdispersed amongst the sand granules? Does something else happen? Does it completely disappear so it turns to gas? Maybe CO2, methane, or some other acetylene, ethylene, you know, one of the other carbon containing gases. Yeah, okay. Or it could be a carbon nitrogen gas. You never know. Okay. Somehow it reacts with the atmosphere to make a carbon nitrogen bond. Anyway, we'll find out, I suppose. We can do tests for things like that. Once you get a nitrogen atom in there, there's lots of cheap little tests you can buy in the aquarium shops for things like that. So yeah. Okay, that's about it. 15 seconds on the car. What can I show you? Oh, how about this? Nicely colourful. There we go. With some water in it.